Hello, casuals. Yeah, you're welcome to the Casual Experience Show. And on this episode, we'll be talking about a rivalry that is going to go and be talked about for ages. It's a rivalry of Usman Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare, and Covington.
Chaos
Covington. And on this episode, I'm with my guy once again, GOC.
You know what time it is, man, and you know that if you don't like fights,
Now you're there. So where do we start? Where did it all begin?
Have they settled that rivalry?
No, the rivalry is settled.
I don't think so.
It's over.
I don't think so.
Those kind of rivalries are rivalries that we just now talk about, and we revel in the.
These are men that have shared 50 minutes in the cage, fighting, bleeding. I mean, those two fights were very bloody and must be talked about in UFC history.
But in the midst of it, we have to acknowledge the mutual respect that they had, aside the trash talking and you know the bad blood between them. At the end of it, it's just always been respect, particularly from the part from Kamaru's man.
Oh yeah, Kamaru is very respectful. I'm giving me flowers. Give a big shout out to the Nigerian Nightmare, not because I'm Nigerian, but because Kamaru is a role model. He's left his graffiti on the sands of time, and he's doing a lot, man, in terms of, like, you can't be at that platform, at that global stage with the spotlights on you, and you're still as composed as Usman is. Let's talk about Usman is composed. Usman knows how to relate to people, has a nice PR, very humble, and come on, man, Usman is.
So how do you all begin?
Usman comes back again?
No, I mean the rivalry. Like
all rivalries. It started from. Okay, so this is where it got really, really personal. Are you aware that Usman's girlfriend is Brazilian?
I wasn't aware.
Oh, you aren't? Okay, Brazilian. Hence, Samira looking that cute and everything. It's like a mixed breed of a black and a white blood, So he goes to Brazil to fight Rafael dos Anjos. And they told him that if you don't sell fights, you can't continue in the company. You're about to be caught. So Kobe was like, oh, how do I still stay relevant? And just adopted a character that people didn't like. It's just like Seudo adopting this cringe character, and he just starts talking trash. Like, he talks trash, the voluminous trash, to the point that you're like, as a fan, I want to see this guy being... Can I curse?
That was the...
I can't curse, right?
That was the beginning
Can I see this guy being fucked up big time? So... that was actually what happened.
That was the beginning of Chaos Covington.
Exactly.
Ill character.
That was
like
it.
He came into his own. Like, and you see, that's a good thing about fights. When we have fights that have storylines, from individual casual perspective, we see it from different view. Now, you talking about the girlfriend part. You know, I never saw the rivalry from there. The rivalry, from my own point of view, the rivalry began seeing two top athletes in their prime, knowing that it was only one of each other who was going to cancel themselves. The Covington chaos part, where he caused out Brazilian, is part of it. But Usman too came with a purpose when he dominated,
to destroy him.
And that when they had their first fight, you could see that these were the two best fighters in the
world at 170.
At welterweight. Like, there was nothing stopping them. At the end, if not for the broken jaw, he finished him.
No, you're going too fast. Before that even transpired. So this is what happened. He comes to Brazil. I apologize again if I want to curse, because that's the only way I could explain this. And fucks up their guy big time.
RDA.
Do you understand? RDA is not a walk in the park.
He dominated.
RDA is big time and elite somebody.
He dominated him with pressure and his
the chaos guy.
cardio
taking
like
him down.
5 rounds. He dominated him for 5 rounds.
Microphone, and that was one of the most stellar, epic call out ever. Brazil, you feel the animals, bitch.
You're a dump.
Do you understand? Don't feel the animals. You call the whole nation that.
He was the interim champion at that point.
That was when they gave him interim championship.
That was and then
do
you remember they had their press conference? No, I mean the post-fight interview where he came with the flag.
Exactly.
And he started attacking Usman. And Usman was like, I want to congratulate you first of all. But I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
When did your balls drop?
Oh, Oh, so those things actually now sparked up the bad blood. Because I
Yes.
mean, it's a build up, trying to actually send a narrative of I don't like you.
Yes.
I believe I'm better than you.
Yes.
And let's come prove it. Then Usman says, "What? My chick is actually a Brazilian.
Yeah.
You can't just throw that shit on me or that shit at me and
Yes.
I'll just keep quiet." Then the build up starts. Then they book the fight because people feel that Kobe's cardio has not been taken down and all those resume he has better than Usman's. And I mean, we saw what happened.
And in fact, before their fight,
Yeah.
their fight was one of the engaging bouts contents that we watched out for. The weigh-ins were spectacular.
Everybody will actually glue to that fight.
You knew that this was deep bad blood. This was deep rivalry, and they complemented each other in the way one was an actual heel,
Yeah.
and the other was just a champion that he knew that no one would
actually
defeat him.
defeat him.
And their press conferences too was
Elite. Everybody was just
super
so
dope.
vocal, so vocal.
Then we came into the fight.
Come on, the irony of the fight. What was the irony of the fight? Let me ask you.
Okay, you see now
What's the irony of that fight?
This is where our perspective always differs, and that
Okay.
is what happens with which casuals that happens with the fight.
Yeah.
That watches the fight. The irony of the fight for me.
Let me see.
The irony of the fight for me was Usman smashing Kobe's jaw. That
Okay.
you talk too much. You've been talking too much.
I'm going
to break
Your
your
jaw.
fucking jaw.
I broke your jaw,
Yeah.
right? That's you, the irony, okay?
And Kobe alluded in third round to his corner that man,
jaw
it
is
seems
broken,
that this
actually.
guy has broken my
He
jaw
really
true.
broke the jaw, yeah.
But aside the TKO of the fifth round,
Yeah, fifth round, yeah.
if it wasn't the TKO of the fifth round,
Bro.
that bout was
Very
often
close. They
contested.
entered the fifth round 2-2.
The judges had it 2-2.
2-2, yeah, entering the final
And
round.
credit to Kobe when Usman,
With a broken
Usman
jaw.
kept he arguably had the first two rounds. That's
Yes,
Kobe.
yes.
Then Usman. That was when Usman was coming into his prime in striking.
building up
when
his
he
strike,
was
yes.
when he
Treble
was with
Whitman.
treble.
Yeah.
Yes, and he started hitting him with some bad body
shots, body shots.
Kept hitting him with bad body shots until
It was
at
not.
the fifth round when he hit Kobe.
Yes. Kobe fell down.
Bah! He stood up again.
Yeah, seen there.
Bah!
No, but let me tell you the truth. The irony of that fight is you didn't get it.
Yeah.
You tried though. You tried. I mean, you tried.
No, you can't say I
Okay,
didn't
no, you
get
didn't.
it.
You can't say you
You
didn't
are
get
going to stop.
Okay,
You're
but
going to say your own
that's true. Okay,
perspective.
you got
can't
it.
say
That's your
I didn't get
perspective. That's your
it.
perspective.
That's my
Okay.
own perspective.
Okay, that's true. That's your own perspective. But when I want to say mine, now you now see.
Okay.
They didn't wrestle. Okay, you see why I call that irony? These are two professional elite wrestlers. First fight, they didn't wrestle.
This is because wrestlers cancel out wrestling. When you have two wrestlers that fight,
Okay.
they cancel out wrestling. You know,
Okay.
you can't take me down,
And I can't take you down.
I can't take you down.
Easily,
It's just
okay.
like when you see two strikers. They always tell you that when you have two strikers
Okay.
fighting,
Okay.
it almost comes when you have two counter strikers
Yes.
fighting.
Yes.
It almost becomes a boring fight because the other one is waiting for the other one to
Except Pereira and Easy. Chess
and
match.
exactly.
Let's let that out. But to me, the irony was, I was expecting wrestling, which actually they implemented on their second,
Fight.
and that was controversially the first down. Usman, that was controversially
He
the
took
first.
him down.
Okay, so
he took him down because his hand touched the floor.
I don't believe he took him down.
Once your hand touches
Daniel
the mat,
Gomez says he took him down, but I don't believe he took him
and
down.
Daniel, you
He's a
can
wrestler.
take Daniel
That was
Gomez's word for
arguably
it.
okay. That wasn't a complete takedown.
Complete or incomplete.
Uh-huh.
The rule of wrestling states that once your hand touches the mat,
Yes.
that's a takedown.
Oh really?
Yes,
Because I think
he
the
held
first
him,
takedown
he
of
flicked him,
Kamaru
and his
Usman
hand
was Leon.
and his hand touched
Touched the ground.
the ground. That was a complete takedown.
The Leon zone, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but DC, a renowned, known D1 wrestler,
Yeah, wrestler.
says
He
that's a
took it down.
takedown. We take his words for it.
But when after that fight, Kobe felt that he has done a lot well to come back, and they granted him a coming back.
Yes,
because you
but
see-
it took a while
Yeah.
because Kobe kept saying Usman was dodging him, was dodging
I
him.
believe
but
all those
we
things
knew,
dodging who?
we knew Kamaru was injured. Then
Yeah.
there was an incident that happened in a casino before the 235
Yeah,
event
yeah.
where Usman and Abdul what's the manager?
Ali Abdulaziz, yeah.
Yes, they were trying to attack Kobe, and Kobe Kobe was just mad. Was just,
Ali Abdulaziz doesn't tolerate trash talk.
Yes.
He doesn't like Kobe.
But look, we have, if not for Kobe trash talk, but
Kobe said a lot of painful things. How can you say that your hairline is shorter than your father's jail term?
Jesus Christ.
Abba now. How do you say that? And let's flip back a little bit.
He attacked Usman's father. You know, at that time, Usman's father was in jail.
He was in jail. And do you know why he went to jail?
No.
Because he didn't do a cross-checking of, he's actually a pharmacist that outsourced procurement to another company. I don't want to actually put the white.
Yeah.
So, and when he did that, they set him up. They put an illegal stuff there, and he didn't do his cross-checking.
Was that why he went to jail?
That's why he went to jail. And the judiciary there was actually very biased. Mostly he's a black guy coming from Nigeria.
Yes.
And and how can you say that now?
He attacked every part of it.
About Leon.
But Usman too had his own trash talk.
What did he say?
Yeah.
Well, very respectful.
He attacked Kobe's sexuality. He was like, why Kobe kept pointing out the dots on Usman's body, how Usman looked and all. And Usman was like, are you we are not saying something. Are you trying to point out something?
Well, Kobe sold fights, man, very well.
Yeah, Kobe sold it.
And I think one thing that actually was giving him the backbone very solid behind him was the fact that I'm Dana White's favorite fighter.
No, to Donald Trump's favorite fighter. Yes.
Speech talk. First to the first responders, I'm Dana White's favorite fighter.
And he actually believed what he was saying. The first bout, he was using the MAGA. He was always wearing the MAGA hat, the red hat. And then the second fight, Usman too came into his own, and Usman is, he's always well dressed. He was wearing this leopard jacket, and Kobe was wearing a funny, awkward, is it pink and blue suit?
What's he trying to prove there?
And that was where Usman too was like, this is your suit. You're not telling us something. You're not telling us something. Something is wrong somewhere. But two of them, man, they are rivalry.
How did you see it?
That was 265 in New York.
Knocked him out the first round.
Do you know something about that fight? We had fighters in their prime on that card, but because it was their second fight and it was hotly anticipated. Do you know that was the fight? That was the card Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler had their fight.
Wow.
That was the fight. That was then they had one of the fight of the year. That was the fight. Rose. Co-main event was Rose and you are in that Chinese
Weili knocked out, right?
Yes.
Oh,
but the whole precedence
attention was on that.
Was on two of them.
I think that the fight audience was biased because everyone wanted to see.
They were chanting. No, they were chanting USA. They were pro Kobe.
Yes, now
they were chanting USA.
They wanted Usman
USA.
To be fucked up.
Yes, USA.
And Usman knocked Kobe out in the second round, the first round.
That was the first. The second. He knocked him down. Yes.
Oh,
yes. Twice.
Took him down.
They are rivalry. In life, you just have to have one person here or there, that ignites and sparks up that sparks up your existence.
Yes.
We are here casual experience podcast talking about fights here, but we give credit to people behind the scene, Full Spirit, Fapas, Mr. Fabian and
Demola,
that is at that point Usman and Kobe.
Prime, bro.
They complete. There was no other person that could have brought out Usman's shine.
Yes.
At that point, than Kobe.
Kobe said, "I want you to know that in this era,
yes,
there was somebody you couldn't beat."
Yes. And do you know what? Till today, Usman gives Kobe credit. That is one unique thing about Usman.
They hugged practically after the fight.
He gives.
Kobe said it's because
Usman always see Bonds now. I was watching him and Henry Ceodo's podcast, Pound for Pound.
Okay.
Last week. And even until that last week, he was still giving Bonds credit. That from his own view, you feel right. But if you look at it from Bonds' view too, they were friends, but Bonds also needed to be champion. And he wanted, even though he wanted what his friend had, he had every right to. And that shows
man, that
that shows the
yeah.
humanity,
Yes.
humanity beyond humanity.
We are men and we're actually very competitive people who actually want the best. I go talk on this way.
Yeah.
Pigeon, from my pigeon, man. Everybody wants to make it, but not be everybody won't make and pass out.
Yeah.
You understand? No matter how friends we are, there's a goal everybody is actually going towards. And
Yes.
it makes the sport very interesting.
Yes.
And that's why Dana White tells you, go fight a friend. You say you don't want to fight a friend.
Yes.
He cuts you off
The
immediately.
Merab and Sterling
Yeah.
thing.
You understand?
Dana White is not someone for it.
You understand?
And-
You understand? They want to see the fans. They want to know who's actually better.
Aha.
And then Usman was, I'm a problem.
And talking about irony, you spoke about the irony of your fight.
Yeah.
Do you know one more irony about
I didn't see.
about them?
Yeah. Kobe and Usman.
Yes, Kobe and Usman.
What's the irony?
Let me just
In
give
the
you
fight?
no, not in a
Outside
fight.
the fight?
It's outside, just something that revolves around their existence. Usman is someone that has always encouraged the Nigerian heritage.
I was
He's
about to say
always
his family.
He loves his daughter to death.
Oh, yeah.
He loves his elder brother, his younger brother to death.
Yeah.
He loves his
He's a family man.
family man.
African family man, yeah.
But even in his fight, Adesanya was the first. Israel Adesanya was the first Nigerian that actually came to limelight
And we
in
embraced
fight,
very well, yeah.
and we embraced well.
Yeah.
And he's always embraced that Nigerian culture.
Yeah.
But Usman, in his workout, do you know he plays out Nigerian songs?
Oh,
The
I
song
didn't
against-
see it.
the fight against-
Anybody.
Anybody,
Anybody.
and he held his flag,
And
Nigerian
he
flag.
was on Burna Boy's video with Whiskey.
Yes.
No, he
that
reps
one
it, yeah.
When the
Bekele
band
Messi-
body.
yeah, he came.
That was what it comes out to.
You're correct. You're very, very, very correct.
And do you know what Kobe Covington workout song to?
I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay,
You suck. You suck. You suck.
That's I know.
That's
Kotangu. Yeah, that's
Kotangu.
Kotangu. But it's an American. I think it's for
Yes.
champions and stuff. Oh,
and,
really? I didn't
and
see
you know
that.
Kotangu is a normal American
Wrestler.
wrestler heel.
Yeah, yes.
Heel full core.
Yeah.
And Kobe just embraced it.
He embraced it,
And their rivalry was one of the rivalry that made me love
MMA.
MMA and made
yes.
me know that Nigeria as a whole,
We can do it, man.
we have essence. And our essence is what's extended to our African
heritage.
heritage. You see, now, regardless of what Duplessis says,
Yeah.
regardless of what any African champion tomorrow says, you can never discredit the fact that the existence of
Francis Ngannou,
Francis Ngannou
Israel
and
Adesanya.
and
Kamaru Usman. That era is unwashable. That's why Easy was actually picking on the fact that they're trying to erase Francis. off the
Francis,
history.
yes.
That era was, and come think about it, if you're talking about champions that are what emulating and are very admirable.
yes.
The era of Volkanovski, Kamaru Usman, and Izzy.
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Arguably the best welterweight of all time. Arguably the best middleweight of all
Do
time.
you know at the time Usman was calling out Canelo?
Yeah, when we boxing him.
And
Yeah.
he was serious
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
boxing
He
him,
wasn't joking because he had that self-belief.
Someone
His
who walks
boxing,
into MMA without even professional boxing.
yes, and his boxing became so
Striking
script
amazing.
till today, arguably.
Yeah.
Usman has one of the best jabs.
Oh, you forgot it. You're a champ because of your jab. Who said that? Let's see, you remember.
Trevor?
Trevor.
Trevor.
Yeah, you're a champ because
Trevor,
of your jab.
yes.
When he was fighting Burns. Your jab, man.
Usman's jab is so.
Oh, the
He
jab is
doesn't
a
even
piston.
telegraph it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even come out
From
from
his
his.
shoulder. It just comes. Pop.
That is me that doesn't even know fights.
Yeah.
I've never fought a fight in
Just
my life.
boop.
Knowing the essence of what this guy is doing with jab.
Oh, yeah.
And we were both in AKO.
Yeah.
That fair guy, that Port Harcourt fair guy.
Arana.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Arana from Port Harcourt.
Doesn't it remind
I
you of
watched him with the jab, man. That jab,
Usman's
amazing.
jab?
Yeah, the jab,
And
man.
just guys.
No, hold on. I want to say one last thing, please. I'm
Go
very
on.
sorry. I'm very sorry. To
Go,
cut
no,
here.
just go on.
Okay,
We are
so
having time of our life.
They say it this way. I heard this one. A good cross would take you around block. A good punch would take you around block.
Yeah.
But a good jab would take you around the world. A good punch would take you around the block.
Yeah.
But a good
jab.
jab. Because you set up everything
Yes.
in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, it's
striking
the
with a
foundation of.
jab. Everything.
Yes.
The jab.
Yes.
The jab. Especially if you're southpaw like I am, man. That
Yeah.
jab is another thing. All right?
So,
I'm
guys.
wrapping it up already.
Oh, you are. In
We
fact,
need to talk about the political aspect of.
oh, Well,
okay,
our producers are already telling us we have.
Kobe did not come to make America great, but Usman was there. How come?
You were saying something about Usman growing up in a Democrat family.
Yeah.
And then him now switching.
Oh, yes, because
Speak about that.
Okay, so the Democrats, I don't want to actually ditch people here, but Usman saw that Donald Trump is completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Because I think the Democrats, the agenda is to depopulate the black community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Usman grew up with, black privileges and everything, but you see things like the LGBTQ,
yeah.
they have more abortion clinics, they promote gun violence, same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
That's what the Democrats do.
Yeah.
Kamaris came around, like Africa was campaigning hugely, wanting same-sex marriage because we want to depopulate the black community. Usman saw those things, and there's a flip now. There's a switch now. He talked about being a Republican. Okay,
and Usman will always be our guy. Yeah,
the Nigerian Nightmare.
I'm sure when it comes to the casual experience studio, we'll have a lot to tell us. And a lot.
Please don't ever forget this one.
Yes.
We are huge Kamaru Usman fans.
He's going to be in our studio,
Huge.
and hopefully, Usman. We are your guys. We are always
to have you here.
We love
We're
to have.
dying to have you here.
Yes, and
We're
to
looking forward to
and to the casuals watching us, and to people watching us all around. Like we thank you for your comments. We thank you for your likes. We thank you for your views. And
our watch party, right?
And our watch party also will be coming up next week. That's John Joe's
and Stipe Miocic in the world most famous arena, MSG. You can't miss that one, man.
That's UFC 309. And we'll be bringing rivalries like this, bad blood like this, every time to you. Will make you, the casuals, will make you, maybe the viewers, whether you like fight or not, will make you love fight. And as a friend of mine always says, if you don't love fight,
sorry, Ndo.
Now your name. Thank you, and catch you next time. Thank you, GOC, for
all right. Bless man. Daniel Komi and